Hi there, I'm Michael Litvak, and I was lucky enough to win a contest from BonusFinder.com to find the best tasting cheeseburger in Canada. However, we're in the middle of a global pandemic right now, so I couldn't crisscross the country to find that number one cheeseburger in the country, so I had to settle with crisscrossing the suburbs of northern Toronto. So, let me just tell you a few things. I tried to keep it to the most basic cheeseburger on everybody's menu. A lot of these restaurants have some crazy concoctions that I would just love to eat them all. But I wanted to try to compare everything, on the same level as best as I could. So I just kept it down to a fairly simple cheeseburger to try to help things out. And the other thing I need you to know is that everything was scored in 9 categories. So everybody's got an out of 90 score here. And we'll go from there. And without further ado, here is your top 10 cheeseburgers in Canada. Toronto area only. All right, so number 10, Hero Burger. Generally love this place. I've been there many times. But I just went in and got their regular cheeseburger. And I have to say, it died because of the hero sauce. It was a pretty boring tasting burger. I couldn't taste the onion. And that sauce just left a sour taste in my mouth. It would have gotten a higher score, but right now it's a number 10 at only 50 out of 90 had I custom made the burger and not used their sauce. Number 9, I'm also surprised. A big favorite here in the Toronto area is the Holy Chuck Burger. Again, I didn't find much flavor in this except for the cheese. Maybe the best cheese in the whole contest. Their cheese was fantastic, but everything else sort of paled in taste, and it just wasn't anything special. I wouldn't go back and just stick with this again. I don't know why, but it didn't do anything for me. The patty was pretty plain tasting. Number 8, something I'm sure most of you are familiar with, the McDonald's Quarter Pounder with cheese. Out of any burger I've ever eaten in my lifetime, I've consumed more of these than any other restaurant. There's no doubt about that. But again, it's funny. I've always enjoyed this, but in comparing it to some other burgers, I found it a little bit lower in the scale than I thought it was going to be. The one thing I can say about that Quarter Pounder with cheese, I love the pickles and the onions. Scores big with me. It is, and just great tasting, great quality. It's fresh, and I absolutely love it. They had a score of 57 out of 90. Just edging them out a little bit on the scale, number 7, the Wendys Dave's Single with Cheese. Liked it. It's a pretty good burger, good quality of ingredients, except for the cheese. I didn't taste the cheese. So my suggestion is to order their burger without the cheese. Save the calories. It did nothing to add flavor to this burger. Number 6, the Whopper with cheese. Again, like the Wendys, the slice of processed cheese that is in this burger did nothing to add taste to this burger at all. It's a very delicious burger, but you don't taste the cheese. It just gets lost. Everything else, the burger, it tastes so good that there was no added value, added flavor, added anything for the cheese. So like I said with Wendy's, if you're going to go to Burger King, order the Whopper without the cheese. Save the calories. Number 5, the Aussie Burger. Again, it was pretty good. Overall, tasted good. Good bun. I really like the bun. That was a big score for me. Some of these places you'll see where I put bun quality. To me, a good bun is something that's going to hold all the ingredients in. Stuff isn't going to be sliding out of the bun, and it won't get wet and soggy. It tasted good. It was a good first bite. The flavor might not have lasted all the way through, like it sort of lost some of that first taste. But it was a pretty good burger, 64 out of 90. I would definitely try it again, and maybe some of the other items on their menu. I've never been there before. So this is one I'm definitely going to have to go back to. Number 4, the Fresh Burger. When they described their burger as being fresh, it absolutely was. It was great tasting patty. Everything was really good about this, except for their bun. Too thin, and the lettuce and tomato were sliding out. So definitely in comparison to where it was just an Aussie burger with a really good bun quality, Fresh Burger's bun, thumbs down. It just it tasted good, but too thin, and it just didn't work. So I don't know. I would need a different bun before I think I would ever go back there. Number 3, Grillgate. Also a pretty yummy thing altogether. When I put complexity of flavors used, I put a 10. It's a good tasting burger, good cheese. The only thing that sort of kills it a little bit is the special sauce. Not so much that it tasted bad, but it was just dripping in this sauce. It was a little too much. It sort of made it a little bit too strong. That was sort of my only sort of negative on Grillgate. I really liked it, and it's definitely something I would go back to. Number 2, Five Guys. Big chain in the US and growing here in Canada. Typically my favorite burger, and going into this contest I thought it was going to come out at number 1, but it just missed, coming out at number 2. It scores pretty much everywhere across the board except for the bun. I gave it a 5 out of 10. Could have been a little bit thicker, a little bit harder. There's a lot of toppings when you order their cheeseburger all the way, and their bun sort of wilts a little bit by the time you get to the end of eating this. So a little bit better bun from Five Guys, and for sure this would have won. Definitely a place I will get a burger again. I love it. Great fries on top of that. And number 1, and before I show you the number 1, I was a little bit surprised here because first time I went there, I didn't like it at all. And I was even hesitant to put it on my list. But the number 1 cheeseburger in Toronto is from Burgers Priest. Again, when they opened around 2010 or so here in Toronto, I went. There was a lot of great reviews about it, and I was underwhelmed, and I hadn't been back. But I know how much it's loved here in the city, and I figured I got to try it again. Maybe I just had a bad burger the time I went, or just wasn't cooked right. I don't know. But this knocked it out of the park. A 77 out of 90. Everything was fantastic about this. The cheese was just cheese, I guess. It could have been a little bit tastier, a little bit creamier maybe. But that was the only sort of knock on this, really. It's got high grades all around. Everything about this was a fantastic tasting cheeseburger, and all I put on it was ketchup, mustard, tomato, and lettuce. I kept it simple, and I was just wowed. I am definitely going back to Burgers Priest again to order their cheeseburger. And that's another place that has a crazy menu of burgers where you can get some unbelievable looking burgers, and so tempting to eat many of them. But I was just floored with the simpleness of their cheeseburger. So they are the champion, Burgers Priest Cheeseburger, with a score out of 77 out of 90. All right, again, thank you to BonusFinder.com for picking me for this. This was a fantastic sort of dream job experience, even though it only lasted a couple of weeks. But I enjoyed this, and I hope one day when the pandemic's over, I get a chance to do a real true across Canada adventure. And that's about it. So again, thank you so much, and I hope you get to try some of these, and let me know what you think.